Where did you get this?
On a dig down in Thebes.
Jonathan, I think you found something.
There is an ancient legend of a place known as the City of the Dead.
We call it the doorway to hell.
Where the earliest pharaohs were said to have hidden the wealth of Egypt.
Are we going into battle?
There's something out there. Something underneath that sand.
They came to uncover its secrets.
Mummies, my good son. This is where they made the mummies.
They sought to unlock its treasure.
And then there was light.
Oh, boy.
What they did
Oh my God, it does exist.
I think this may be the Book of the Dead.
was unleash a force unlike any the world has ever known.
You must not read from the book! What the hell was that?
You have unleashed the creature that we have feared for more than 3,000 years.
Whoa!
He will regenerate and no longer be the undead.
We are in serious trouble.
Do you swim? If the occasion calls for it.
Trust me! It calls for it!
Universal Pictures invites you
His powers are growing.
Run! This just keeps getting better and better.
to experience the adventure
It appears he's already chosen his human sacrifice.
that will live forever.
If he turns me into a mummy, you're the first one I'm coming after.
Go!
The Mummy.
Jordan Cartwright back with the M News. Welcome to Season 2's finale. As you can probably see from the back of my head and probably from the link below, the name, I am doing the Mummy Trilogy. This is going to be a solo review because my friends are off doing, my co-anchors are off doing something else during this good week. First I'm going to start out with the 1999's The Mummy. It's a reboot of, 1930s, 20s version with Boris Karloff's Mummy. I like this movie. I like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. You have Rachel Weisz, Arnold Vosloo. You got a good cast for the first one. The part that I liked most about it was that the fact that they did not try to make it more of a comedy as much as they wanted to make it a horror. Of course, The Mummy, was a horror movie back, and this one scared me. When I was younger and I heard the guards saying Emotep coming down the street towards that building, I freaked because I was freaking out thinking I was going to think that I was going to hear somebody out there saying Emotep coming towards my house. Like, it put me in such a situation, which was the point of that movie, to get you scared, but then also entertained. The Mummy, the first Mummy, Brendan Fraser, that was probably the most that was the greatest probably movie I've seen Brendan Fraser in, cut from all the Journey to the Center of the Earth and the Fury, Vengeance. The Mummy was the really, really good one with Brendan Fraser in it. Arnold Vosloo played the Mummy, the Emotep, the guy I freaked out about. He was either ugly or he was a not normal looking guy in the movie. He pulled it off really well. Boris Karloff would have been proud, honestly. This guy was he was everything I thought in a Mummy, everything I thought in a classic Universal character. Creepy, silent, but then wanted something, he wanted something, of course, but he wanted to bring back, of course, his loved one is, oh man, I forget her name, but, something with Moon or something at the end, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. It was just really, really nice to see a Universal remake that actually kind of scared you and gave you a good feeling of, The Mummy, of course, takes place in like the 1930s, like around 30s, 40s, 50s, somewhere in there. We start out with a war, between, it was in Egypt, of course, we have Brendan Fraser leading a group of American men against these, looking like terrorist kind of deal guys. I mean, Egyptians, and you know, with the masks on, head things on, and they're charging at him with swords and guns, and you know, they're trying to keep him away from a certain land, and that's how the movie begins. And the movie gets later on. He meets a girl from a library, played by Rachel Weisz, who eventually goes on with Brendan Fraser to this city of the dead, to go find a book and a couple books and treasure and everything, and then something happens when they read something out of this book of the dead, and then the mummy comes back and takes the ones who open a chest that was cursed to suck the lives out of them and use them for his own skin. Pretty much the basis of the movie is that he comes back, gets his full appearance back, and wants to bring back his loved one from the dead. So he goes through a lot of this stuff to make sure that happens. But out of all, that movie was so... I want to be a film director when I grow up, and that movie was so inspiring to me when it came to the horror in it and the scary. And I'm going to go a solid 8.9 out of 10. Not really solid, but an 8.9 out of 10 for the Mummy 1999, of course, you know. Really nice movie, really touching in my opinion. Well, now I'm going to move on. You know, believe me, this was a good one. It was good. Wasn't the best. The first one was better. Going to The Mummy Returns. Can't really remember what the year was when they made it, 2001 or 2002, when something like that. Same cast pretty much. They add The Rock in there. The Rock plays the Scorpion King. Pretty awesome, actually. He pulls off the Scorpion King pretty well. You know, it's pretty much about, well, Evie, that's her name. Evie, the wife of Rick O'Connell. Rick O'Connell is the main character, played by, of course, you know, Brendan Fraser. If you've seen the movie, you know who I'm talking about. Evie is there. They finally have a kid. I think it's Max, I'm not sure. But anyway, of course, you know, the kid does something that he shouldn't be doing, and he gets something attached to his wrist. It's a bracelet of Anubis. Apparently, pretty much the thing of this movie is, you know, he gets him, if you don't get him there before the sun sets on a certain someday to the pyramid, the bracelet will kill him, suck the life out of him, and leave him to die. Pretty much that's the point of the movie, to get him to the pyramid. Not Arnold Vosloo is in this movie. He's playing the mummy, the same guy. He wants to kill Scorpion King so he can take control of Anubis' army. And Anubis' army is full of these dogs with spears and everything, like mummy dogs. And it was nowhere as good as the first one, but anyway, it's entertaining to watch. You know, I won't say it was one of my favorites. I mean, there's a lot of action in it, of course. You know, more action probably than the first one, but it just was not it wasn't as good, as my opinion. It just wasn't. They didn't have that sense of fear in there. I mean, there's parts that made you jump when the little faces come out and just make you jump, but that's about it. That's pretty much all that was in that movie. That's pretty much what I had to say about The Mummy Returns, because there's not much to say about it. It was a sequel. Not a bad sequel, but it was a sequel. I would have to give that movie, at least, I'm going to be pretty generous because I did like it, a solid 7. A 7 out of 10. Not my favorite. Definitely not. Well, that's for The Mummy Returns. Alright. I'm mad. Now I'm grading The Mummy, The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. What a piss bomb. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I watched it. You know, I said I did. It was decent. It wasn't best. No, by far not. I watched it, and I made it through it. You have Jet Li as the mummy in this. There's no Arnold Vosloo in this. You know, there's not even the Rachel Weisz is not in this one. It's someone else, totally different. Max is all grown up. Rick is, you know, a stubborn old guy, a rich guy who wants to go back on these adventures, but, you know, he has a family now, and he's trying not to. The beginning starts out pretty funny, where he's flicking the fish hook and catches in his ear, and has to go in a tree to get it and everything. You know, but it's just not the same. I mean, when I was expecting, you know, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, I was thinking that, you know, it was going to start out maybe with Rick being in the desert and stuff, and everybody being out in the desert, but it starts out, you know, as Max in the desert and everything, and it wasn't the same. I mean, they overdone it. The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor was nothing but crap, honestly. I'm surprised it did really good in the box office after if I would have went to theaters and saw this movie, I would have been really, really disappointed to waste my money because it just was not as good. Jet Li was pretty cool. Jet Li was cool in it, you know. Not the best Mummy, no. I like Arnold Vosloo's original Mummy. That's where I like the second one a lot better than I like the third one. But then that wasn't the problem. It's when the problem was when they got out the Yetis. What Yetis? It's the Mummy, not Yetis. This movie was not scary at all. It wasn't. It was a little bit intense, yes, but it was not scary. The Yetis, then the dragon, how he turns to a dragon. The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, I got the Dragon Emperor, but I was thinking, you know, is this something that he resembled was a dragon, because I didn't think he was going to turn into one. I don't care if he was undead. And then they had these, like, elements and everything, you know, going around and everything, fire, water, planets, and it was just, really, the fight scene at the end was just cheesy. I don't know how to, if that's the right word for that. It was just cheesy. It was just bad. It was not a good movie, honestly. It wasn't. I can't really even say much more because it just irritates me to think that they would pull the Mummy off like this. Hopefully they don't make another one, you know. Hopefully they don't make another one, but because the first and second one were fine. Now they came up with the third, and it just went overdone, and it wasn't right. I'm going to grade the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor a 4.8 out of 10. Hard to believe. I like the Lords of Salem a little bit better than the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor because the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor was just not part of the Mummy series, in my opinion. It was stupid, in my opinion. But that's it for season 2's finale. You know, that's it for season 2's finale. You know, it was supposed to be, you know, me, Blaine, Michael, and everybody else here, but, you know, since they had stuff to do with, my apologies, I decided to go on and do the season 2 finale. Thank you for watching. Check out our season 3 episode 1 finale, probably starting here tonight. I'll post it tonight and, you know, get started. Subscribe, comment, like, tell me what you thought of the Mummy series. Tell me what was your favorite part of the Mummy series. Who's your favorite actor? Was it between Arnold Vosloo, Brendan Fraser? It don't matter. Let me know, Mummy. What do you grade it yourself? 0 out of 10. Have fun. Thank you for watching.